Alright, this is going to be a little bit of a different style of video today. This is more of a podcast style. I just want to get out some of my thoughts about the channel, about content making. So, I honestly, I originally recorded this because I was not happy with my live commentary of my previous Super Auto Pets videos. But it turns out my latest one actually was pretty entertaining. I was happy with it, so I didn't end up using this commentary. I do say at the end of that video that I was like, oh, I was going to record Peglin. This was the Peglin that I recorded before it. I was going to throw away this footage, but the original goal of this run was actually to try to get a run uploaded to YouTube that was under 30 minutes. Just to, like, even if it was a winning run, I mean, I wanted it to be a winning run. And I was just going to edit as much as possible, and I was also going to try to kind of speed run in the game. And it didn't really work out. That's why I didn't use the footage. Instead, I'm going to use this footage, I guess, to just give you a little bit more of an insight on kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I was just talking about, I mean, some of my frustrations with commentary and trying to learn and get better, and I guess trying to figure out a content philosophy. I guess think of this as like a mini podcast and a channel update. So, yeah. Learning how to talk while playing the game at the same time, it's pretty difficult. I'm still practicing, still getting better, but you know, starting to do this gives you like a newfound appreciation for, you know, the banter level and the banter expertise of Northernlion. Like, you can understand, like, sometimes I watch him and I get frustrated at something that he does for some reason, you know, even though, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter at all. But trying to do this, you get a newfound appreciation. Like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy to, like, riff off the dome just like interesting anecdotes about. Well, I mean, some of them don't hit, but like not everything's gonna hit with everybody. That's the beauty of that's the beauty of life. You know, if something hits with everybody, it's probably like, I mean, I don't want to like rip on stuff that people probably like. There's just, I don't know. I like divisive stuff. That's the thing too. So if I see somebody like super hard appealing to to norms in society and stuff like that, that stuff really triggers me. I think he does that a little bit sometimes, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Most people are gonna do that, and most people agree with that too. So I don't see anybody talking about anything controversial, which I'm probably not gonna start doing. Like, if I want this to continue to grow, I don't want to like alienate people by talking about controversial topics and like giving my opinion that they might, you know, super disagree with. I mean, it's interesting to have a discourse on, like, I mean, not politics. I'm done talking about politics. Okay, like, I've had enough conversation about politics to last a lifetime. I think most people have. Hopefully, I would hope so. Maybe not. Maybe. Other than politics, you know, social issues, even to a certain extent, anyway. I mean, there comes a point where, you know, one side just has too big of a stake to, like, for either side to really have a conversation while having empathy for both sides, or at least, like, for me, I used to try to have these conversations and I would just feel like I had to, yeah, like I said, I had to turn off my empathy to have the conversation. So it's tough. We live in a weird time. Like, some of my favorite stuff, some of my favorite content, some of my favorite media, I mean, all of it really has some edginess to it, some, like, somebody's putting their personality into it, or at the very least they're crafting something. It hits you, and it kind of makes you think for a second, you know. It's got that, you know, like you listen to Patrice O'Neal, right? Like that guy just spits the craziest game. He talks all this shit. He's not crafting a narrative to where everybody's listening to him and going, "Oh yeah," to everything. Like you get his worldview, you understand it, and you can kind of take bits and pieces, and it helps you understand yourself. Like we have to be having these conversations. We have to be, I think comedy is the best thing ever. Like listening to those guys back in the day on like Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern and stuff like that. To a certain extent, I don't endorse a lot of the stuff on there anymore. It's a different time, but back in the day, that stuff was great. I mean, just comedy wise, like my favorite comedians are like, Norm Macdonald. Love Norm Macdonald. Louis C.K. You get the idea. You kind of understand me as a person a little bit, probably from hearing about that. I don't know. I don't know what to talk about in Super Auto Pets. That's the thing. Like, riffing when you're like just pulling stuff out of thin air, like Northern Lion does. Like pulling these weird, stupid anecdotes that like it's interesting to hear him talk about them, but I'm not really interested in anything he's actually saying. That's a skill. That's very hard to do. I mean, because otherwise, when you're doing anecdotes about personal stuff and you're giving little pieces of yourself away, at a certain point you got nothing left to give. Like he's been on the internet for like 12 years. He's got nothing left to give. For me, I don't want to give a lot away. Like I don't really want to foster anything. I just want to make fun content and like get my creative juices out there and do interesting stuff. So I guess I don't know what to do with this video. I think what I might do with it is this will be my I'm not even gonna name it this probably, but this will be my 10 subscriber special. I think I'm at like 12 subscribers actually. So this is my 12 subscriber special. You guys are probably gonna be the only ones that watch it. So you get a picture into my mentality a little bit more about my content making. As far as having a discourse and a conversation, I don't think that's really what you're gonna come to my channel for. Right now, I don't know. I think maybe if I stream, that's the other thing I guess I could talk about. If I stream, then there's a place for that for sure. I mean that, having a back and forth with the chat, talking about certain issues, trying not to, making it a safe place to have a conversation without people going crazy in the chat against each other. that would be ideal. So I would like to foster something like that, I guess, where people who disagree can still have a conversation. That's what I'm all about, really. I just hate how polarized everybody is lately, and everybody says it, but they say it from like from like their high horse, where they're like, oh, looking down at the other side still, but they can be like, oh, I hate how I hate you. Like, I hate how much I hate you. I get it. Like, what else are you supposed to do, right? But it's a tough deal. It's a tough deal trying to see from both perspectives, even though you probably just like pretty much every issue, whether people admit it or not, like you see an issue, like do you agree with abortion? I start with abortion. Like that's how controversial we're going here. You look at that issue and you can probably guess where you lie on it within a few seconds. I mean, your mind can change over time. You can hear different arguments, but you hear it right away as a young person, or somebody asks you when you're like 20, when you've never like had to deal with like say you've never had a pregnancy scare or whatever, and somebody asks you like, "Oh, what do you think about abortion?" And you're going, and you just right there, you probably know what you think about it. So it like you're either like, "Oh, that's horrible," or "I don't care," because nobody's like, "Oh, I love abortion," right? At the end of the day, it's you know nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to have an abortion, but it's some people think it's a necessary thing. Some people think it's murder. Like you have to be able to look at the other side and see, oh, they think it's murder, so I see why they're going crazy. And they need to be able to look back over at the other side and say, they don't think it's murder, they think it's a right. Like, and we're Americans, we're all about rights here. So we should understand each other on that. And that's like one of the most divisive things that there is. So odds are, if I think we can agree on that, or at least we can agree to disagree on that, we should be able to agree to disagree on everything without saying, oh, send them to an island. Which I don't think people really seriously say, but you know what I mean? Like let, conservatives say like, oh, let, California like go be like split off into the sea or something, or the ocean, or like people say like let Texas secede, the same thing. So I mean that's not political, right? I don't think so. It's like a social issue. Like politics is more like you can be left or right. You can be like socially liberal or socially left. Like I don't even want to get into the terminology, but I think I kind of went through all my plans here. We got streaming that I could potentially be doing in the future. We've got 12 subscribers. I mean, the growth on the channel in the past few weeks has just been awesome. So I'm very happy with it. I'm very motivated. Even when I'm feeling very tired and I don't have a lot of ideas, I'm just spitballing until something comes out, and sometimes it's not going to hit. I think lately the Peglin has been hitting. The problem is like how is somebody going to watch like an hour of my Peglin videos a day? I think it's too much Peglin. So also I don't really want to become a Peglin channel. I don't even want to become like a roguelike channel. Like you've seen, I play some different stuff. I played some V Rising, I played some No Man's Sky, which I got into No Man's Sky because I want to play the roguelike mode in No Man's Sky. But beyond that, I still like No Man's Sky. I played it for like 100 hours on console, so there's that. I mean, I'm willing to try pretty much anything. I've bought some different games, some like cool little indie games that I saw on Steam that look kind of interesting, and I didn't see a lot of content being made for them. So it'd be cool to just kind of just be able to go blind into it and see how it is, because they had really good reviews. So the one I'm talking about is let me actually see what that game is. What I'm talking about right now, it starts that it is Necess. So we got that to look forward to, if you even know what that is. Other than that, I've been working on everything related to the videos. I'm working on the thumbnails and editing. The thumbnails have been fun to learn, but they take so long. I don't understand how YouTubers do this. The thumbnails take like an hour, at least, sometimes. Like that last Peglin thumbnail, like I have one idea, and I'm just obsessed with it after that. I'm like, oh, I need to make it like this, and I need... The problem is, like, if you look at the original image, you can find it's just Thanos, obviously. You can find that image, and it looks pretty similar. It's just like, oh, if you know Photoshop at all, or decent with it, you'd be like, oh, I know exactly how you did that, and like I could do it way better, like blah blah blah. I get it, yeah, but I didn't know how to do any of that. Like everything I'm doing off the cuff. It's not like even in high school. Like I'm sure people have to be taking like Adobe classes in high school, right? Like my generation has to be the last dumb generation that didn't do anything tangible in school and just did like geometry and like trigonometry, you know, or like physics and like all this stupid shit like that you're never gonna use in your entire life unless you're an engineer, and then even then you have to retake all those classes in college anyway. Don't ask me how I know. So I don't know. I'm just rambling, but honestly, that's the beauty of post. I'm not even playing right now. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm also working on like trying not to say and stuff so much. Like when I listen back to myself, I kind of cringe at like my little verbal tics. It's like a comforting mechanism or something. Supposedly, I took a speech class early on in college, and it actually was not too bad. It helped me because I've had to make a lot of presentations, and see, I at the and and stuff like that. It's and like I'm just even though I'm calling it out, I still like I need to be more comfortable with dead air. I need to realize this is like meditation or something. Talking to yourself while you're recording, but not feeling the pressure of recording gameplay and playing the game and having to fix it in post. It's kind of liberating, honestly. I should maybe make a podcast. Maybe that would be a fun little thing. You know, me and my brother both have YouTube channels, so. Well, really, my sister has a channel too, but you know, she's taking a hiatus. But that's the thing. My sister actually started the YouTube thing like a year ago or something, and streaming and stuff. And she fell off of it a little bit. But you know, before that, I was like, I was trying to get her to, because she's always wanted to make content. I was like, oh, you should do it. I like gave her my PC and stuff like that to use. It's a decent PC. It's like a, you know, it's got a 1080 Ti in it, but I put it together and everything. Well, I didn't put it together. I bought a pre-built before the pandemic, like a year or two before the pandemic, and yeah, I mean, you would think like, oh, 1080 Ti, that's like last year. You know, that's like 2 generations old at this point. That sucks. Well, no, that's the problem. Like we're still in a shortage, but I think we're in less of a shortage now. Hopefully, I'm looking to maybe get another PC because I've been working off my laptop. My laptop with 512 gigabytes storage, which means that every time I record, I basically just have to instantly edit, and it's the biggest pain in my ass. You would not believe it. Podcast could be fun. It's so hard to. The funny thing is, I was about to say it's so hard to play different games. This YouTube thing has made me play games again. Because I was just having so much anxiety about everything going on. And it was almost hard to be present in life. Which sounds so weird, but I just wasn't doing anything for myself. Like, I don't know if you ever get stuck in a rut and you're just you're like, oh, on to the next chore, on to the next task. And whenever you're not doing something, you're like, oh, I should be doing something. Like, or, oh, did I forget about something? Like, unfortunately, like, filling your time up with more stuff isn't really the best solution, but at least I'm sleeping. Like, I was also having trouble sleeping, and now I'm getting so tired that I can sleep. Like I half the time I fall asleep like in the middle of editing. Like I don't like fall asleep right there, but I'm like I just can't even keep my eyes open. I need to go to bed. And I finish it up in the morning, and I like honestly when I sleep on it, that's when some of my best ideas have come out. So like that last edit with the with the the duality of man. Hey yo yo song. Yeah, that came after a good 8 hours of sleep. It's kind of crazy, actually. I don't know if you guys have ever had. I'm sure you have. I think this is a common thing. It's a known like phenomenon. I didn't believe it, but it definitely is true. Like I'll look at stuff. I'll look at a problem. I'll be doing something creative, whatever. Or like when I was doing programming or whatever, I'd look at it. It would just seem impossible. You have to examine the problem too. You have to like get a full understanding of the problem and like the difficulties with it. If you sleep on it, for some reason it just all falls into place a lot of the time, or at least it just makes more sense, or it seems less scary. It's crazy. It's completely crazy. But I think that's that way with creative stuff too. Getting behind a writer's block, or getting behind getting out of a funk, let's say, where you're like me today earlier. I was like, what the hell am I gonna record? Like I tried to record Peglin. I actually recorded Peglin, but it was bad. I tried something new. I keep trying. I may be trying too much new stuff. This type of content might be better. It'll be better for my sanity. I don't think any of this is usable. This doesn't fit with my style, does it? It's too serious. I'm too serious. I need to work on that. That's my like I'm trying to laugh it up and keep it entertaining, and like the inflection of my voice going up whenever I'm recording, but that's tough for me to maintain. Like some people can do that. Like more power to you. That's part of the thing with creating content. It's so weird. I've always thought of people in like two buckets, like in two extremes. Like you're either artistic or you're like a rational, like science-based person. And I always thought of myself as a rational, science-based person, but I dropped out of. I was trying to be an engineer, dropped out of that, and I almost like rejected that part of myself. So it's been like a weird thing, but I always still thought I was that. Even though I rejected it, I was like, I don't want to be forced into a box, because once you become an engineer, you're forced into a box. Like, how do you leave a job like that? There's probably ways, there's probably things I didn't know, but at the time, it seemed like a good idea, and those classes are hard. And school is expensive when you're young, especially when you're that young. It looks a lot more expensive than it really is. Especially if you're at a state school. Yeah, so I never really thought of myself as a creative person. I never really did anything creative. I didn't create music. I didn't make art, But I don't know. More and more I just seek out creative outlets. And it makes me wonder, like, is that where I want to be, at least in my headspace? I want to integrate that part into myself, obviously. But I am still very logical at the end of the day. Like, I'm like A to B, B to C, blah, 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 blah. Debate. Let's have a debate. I'm right, blah, blah, blah. It's very boring. Like, when you're boring yourself, that's when you need to question why you're even saying anything. Because I would get into the political debates, I'd get into whatever. I'd be like, I don't even care about this. I just care about being right. I don't know how much I want to go into that on this channel, but a lot of life lessons that I've learned anyway. I don't know if they're right. I don't know if they're right life lessons, but they're my life lessons. I had this thought the other day. Like, I was kind of wondering, like, why am I starting this YouTube channel? Why am I doing this? I don't really know. It's just so out of the blue. There's a lot of reasons I'm not really going to get into. But one pretty big one, because I think as a 20-year-old, you really need some good reasons to devote hours of your time per day to something like this. Because it's just not, like, if you look at the numbers and everything, I mean, it makes you, if anything, it's very comforting to know that, like, oh yeah, like, to make this actually be anything, it would take so unbelievably much. It's kind of unbelievable how little money people make on YouTube. So if you're not in it for wanting to make content, I don't know why you're here, honestly. As an older person especially, like, if you're here for, you know, for something other than money. It could be like, you know, building an audience or something. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Like, if you've watched my videos, I don't have the most respect for your time. Let's just say that. I put some weird, stupid shit in my videos. I put losing runs. I put embarrassing shit in my videos. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just all in good fun, but I see why people just put the best stuff in their videos. I see why people don't show their failures, because when I'm watching content and I see someone fail, sometimes it does frustrate me. I see it in the analytics. As soon as I, like, lose my first run in Peglin, even if it's like 5 minutes in, people click off. Like, 10% of people click off. That's a lot of people. So I would do a lot better, obviously, if I just cut out that first 5 minutes, but I just don't really like the idea of it. I don't like where that goes. Like, taking out mistakes, and then just, you start, like, building up this ego of, like, oh, I'm a good gamer. Like, that's why people watch me. I'm a good gamer. There's plenty of good gamers. Like, if you're not really a good gamer and you're just using editing as a crutch, I think that's kind of funny and kind of sad. Because, like, who really cares at the end of the day? Like, entertainment, like, if you can bring content through entertainment instead of just showing people how to play a game, I think it's, like, so much better. That's why I'm doing the content that I'm doing. That's why I think there's a space that needs to be filled in certain games where people are really getting, they're making out like a bandit. They're just able to upload videos and basically upload raw footage, raw let's plays in 2022. I was doing it for a little bit, but I was like, man, I almost feel like I'm a scammer. I put so much effort into some videos, and then these I can just edit. I don't even have to really edit them, like, for more than 30 minutes. I just throw them up. it takes longer to export it and upload it, even on fiber internet, than it does to work on it and even play the game. Like, playing the game is the longest part of the workflow. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a little much. I was gonna say I have big plans for the future. I really don't. I don't have any plans, any set in stone plans. I could play anything at any time. I could move to anything at any time. That's the beauty of having 12 subscribers. You know, I was telling my sister this. Like, she was upset about certain things about this. Making videos, putting a lot of effort in, or not. Putting effort in a stream, or whatever. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Like, you watching the video, or not, or liking the video, or disliking the video. Like, somebody disliked a few of my videos the other day. It's like, or I think like yesterday. Like, I saw it and I was like, I don't know how to feel about that, because I don't know. I wish they would tell you why they disliked the video. But other than that, like, who gives a fuck? I don't care if you don't like my video. You know? Like, I would care a little bit if you, like, felt like, oh, you wasted my time or tricked me. Like, yeah, I'd feel a little bit like, oh, that's not really my intent. You know, my intent is just to not appeal to everyone. Like, that would be... That's a side effect of not appealing to everyone, is that some people are not going to like you. They're not going to like your video. That's fine. That's good. Like, that's the beauty of the internet. We're not television personalities. We don't have to, like, be cookie cutter people who are just being weird in the background. You know, doing all this weird shit, which all celebrities do. I mean, people do that, and it's kind of whatever. I'm not saying it's unique to celebrities necessarily, but I'm just saying, like, that's all fake. You know, everybody is polarizing it. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to show my full true self. That's not healthy, I think. And it's not necessary. And the only reason I could see to do it is, like, as a marketing scheme. Like, I've watched streamers that say they're doing that, and it's like this weird thing. It's not worth it. 12 subscribers, and the views that I'm pulling is, you know, 10 times the amount that I was doing 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. So, regardless of what I say about, like, who gives a fuck, nobody's watching type of thing, you know, I do acknowledge people are watching now. It's just, you know, I want to keep improving regardless of people watching or not watching, because, you know, the views could go away tomorrow. Like, I could stop playing Peglin for a little bit. My views would drop like a tank, and that's fine. You know, I can make a Luck Be a Landlord video just because I see a funny picture and get 5 views on it. Like who cares? Like, that video didn't take any effort anyway. That's the thing. Once I put effort into a video, yeah, I feel a little bit weird if it doesn't do anything. But I know, like, you know, it was more about the creative process and learning than anything, because I'm, you know, God knows I've got a lot to learn still. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this audio. I don't know if I'm even going to put it in a video. I might just put out this Super Auto Pets without any of this. So I think later on my commentary isn't that bad. I was mainly just thinking I would do it for the early part of the game, but I just kept recording, because why not? Oh yeah, I just wanted to say before, the reason I started YouTubing, because I got way off on a tangent. I think as I get older, like, I've always known, you know, you always know about mortality. You know, people, you know, you can die, right? This is a weird answer to this question I've asked myself. But I don't know. There's like some weird aspect to this YouTube shit where it's like, there's just like, it's out there in perpetuity. It's just out there. Your stuff's out there, like whether people's watching it or not. A piece of you is out there. And I don't know why that's comforting. I guess that's just a way. I mean, that's a common thing, right? Like, people want to be remembered. Or they want to leave a legacy or whatever. I think it's funny, like, I was very naive when I was young. You know, I was having this I was at my college in my freshman year, and I'd stay up, at all hours of the night, doing whatever, slacking off, eating stupid shit, hanging out, having fun, living my best life away from my parents for the first time, in the dorms. There's this one night where, like, me and my friend were pulling an all-nighter. We were playing ping pong at some place, and we were just having this weird conversation. My friend was talking about, kind of similar to a creative endeavor. He was talking about writing a book, and he was talking about, his concept for the book, and I was kind of critiquing it and giving him some advice, or encouraging him to write the book or keep writing it. And I don't know, for some reason the concept of, like, posterity, that's the word that I was looking for, came up. And it was like, for some reason it came up, and we were talking about that concept, and he was giving, like, the very normal answer, like, I want to be remembered, and whatever. And I was just being like, I was on one that day, and I've been on one for a while now, being like, I don't care if anyone remembers me. Like, because who cares? Because I'll be dead. Like, it's very logical. Like, why would I care if anyone's at my funeral? Like, I'm dead. Or like, what else? It was like I was very nihilist. Like, it was. I think I even said, like, Kafka-esque in that conversation. It just sounds smart. But the point was, I thought of, if I wrote a book, I think I said this. Seriously, I said this. If I wrote a book, I'd write it and I would never release it. Like, I would write a book, but, then I'd burn it. Or, like, like the Kafka-esque thing. So, that's where I was at. Some years ago. That's where I've been at. And now I'm making weird gameplay videos on YouTube. So the moral of the story is, people can change their minds, people can change. People can kind of wake up to the idea that, things aren't as cringe as you think. Like, I always had this hipster mentality. I listen to hipster music. I watch hipster movies and TV. Sometimes I like normal TV for the most part. Books and all that. But there's something to be said for this medium of YouTube. I watch so much YouTube. I watch so much YouTube that I know what works on YouTube. I know what entertains me. I know what keeps me engaged in the content. I know what I'm looking for in YouTube. And quite frankly, I think part of the reason too that I got on YouTube was that I just felt like there was a gap. Like, I think it's just my recommendations. I hate the algorithm. I hate it, but whatever. It's not working too well for me lately. the stuff I'm getting recommended is not the best quality. Like, it's just not impressing me. So maybe that's part of it too. I thought, hey, I can do better than these people. I thought when I started this channel, well, this channel's been around for a while, but when I started uploading, I'd eventually get to some other styles of content like video essays, long form content, and it's possible. I have ideas. I don't want to give them away. I don't know if people will like them, because I feel like my ideas are kind of weird and they're kind of antagonistic. So I'll leave you with that. Okay. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I don't know how much I left in of that. It was probably a long time of talking. I guess you can tell how far along I am into talking from the recording by the quality of my voice, because it's kind of shot at this point from talking mainly. But alright, I need to stop.